The author of this story is Sonia Saini. It was the middle of the night and everything was quiet. In the heart of a dense forest, a man in tribal attire was engrossed in a ritualistic practice. In front of him was a coffin-like box. Nearby, he had lit a fire and was conducting a ritual. Around his neck was a garland of skulls. He was chanting in some strange language. Repeatedly, he would offer a handful of something into the fire. It was all so terrifying that it could send chills down anyone's spine. At the conclusion of his ritual, he performed a sacrifice by offering an animal and then bathed the coffin with the blood of the sacrificed animal. Suddenly, a stir arose and a fierce storm began to rise. The surrounding forests began to wail, and a loud thunderclap echoed in the sky. And with that, the man performing the ritual stands up and starts laughing loudly. It was around 8 p.m. at night. After a long 6-hour journey, a team of 20 people had reached the heart of the dense Andaman jungle. This jungle was surrounded by the sea on 3 sides, and apart from 1 or 2 small villages nearby, nothing else was visible. According to the archaeological department, this is the location where coal is believed to be found. We need to clear this jungle and start the excavation work. Boss, it's getting dark now. For now, let's find a suitable spot nearby and set up our camp.
You might be right.
Everyone grabs their torches and starts moving forward into the jungle.
I just saw 2 red glowing eyes. There's something here.
There must be wild animals. What else? Let's just go back to our bus. Yeah, and spend the night there. Roaming in the jungle after dark doesn't seem safe to me.
I also just heard someone. I heard the sound of running.
It feels like someone is definitely around us. Hearing the boss, everyone starts heading back to the bus. The whole team spent the first night in the bus. The next day at 5 in the morning, the rays of the sun fall. Everyone comes out of the bus, alright. After freshening up, they start work. Will we find any laborers around here? The work will get done a bit faster. There are 1 or 2 villages nearby, but no one is willing to work here. They say years ago this
Forest was inhabited by a tribal group.
But
For some reason overnight they left this forest too.
Why did they leave? Where did they go?
No one knows.
They were talking while moving forward in the forest. Then their
Sir?
eyes fall on a tree.
Look at the tree. Doesn't it seem strange to you all?
Oh my god. This is very strange. It looks like a face instead of a tree.
Like, as they moved deeper and deeper into the forest, they encountered some truly bizarre and terrifying things.
Someone.
Tree on. They saw a cloth doll hanging, and somewhere a human skull. Strange signs were carved on some of the trees, whose meaning they couldn't understand. Slowly, the work of cutting the trees began. Suddenly, in the dense forest, covered, they saw a broken down temple.
Surely, someone must have lived around here before. That's why they built this temple, but I'm worried thinking that after. Why did they leave? Because I've heard that tribal people never leave their land and forest so easily.
Hey, what do we have to do with it, man? We're not here to research the tribals. Get this demolished quickly and start the excavation work after demolishing the temple. Now the excavation work had also started. As soon as the workers, they start digging the temple after about 25 feet. Below them, it feels like a box. Sir, there's something down there, sir. Take it out, let's see what it is. Out of curiosity, the workers, they take the box out. Sir, box. But look at this. Someone has wrapped it with an iron chain. What do you say, should we cut this chain? Not just that, look at this. Something strange. Strange pictures are also drawn on top of this box.
Bro, I'm telling you right now, if there's any treasure inside, I definitely want to make sure I get my fair share too.
Hearing Avinash, everyone standing there. People smile. To cut the iron chain, as soon as the chain is cut, they hit it with a hammer. Wild animals of the jungle, like dogs and jackals, and CR together, they start crying in a terrifying voice. By now, the sun overhead seemed anxious. The sun shining brightly until now suddenly hides behind the clouds. In the middle of the day, it felt like darkness. Darkness begins to spread. A flock of owls suddenly in the sky, flies in the sky. And the entire sky? But it spreads all over. What's happening, sir? Isn't all this getting very mysterious? Noise, even though we are in the middle of the jungle, we are standing. And on top of all this, what's happening right now is making me feel really anxious and uneasy. Vicky just said this much. Was. The next strike of the hammer, it breaks that chain. Once the chain is removed, the box is opened. They found something. It becomes visible. Everyone is stunned.
Oh my god, what is this? Maybe we shouldn't have opened this box.
Whatever was inside the box, it was Vicky's style boss. It was enough to blow Roshan and Avinash's minds. Their screams echoed through the space. Seeing the open box, it felt like screams got stuck in their throats. Oh my god, what is this? Maybe we shouldn't have opened this box. Whatever was inside shocked Vicky, Shelly, Boss, Roshni and Avinash. Their screams got stuck in their throats as they stared at the open box. Close it.
Due to exhaustion, everyone fell into a deep sleep within moments.
Suddenly, late at night, Roshni wakes up.
It feels like someone is outside the tent calling out to me repeatedly.
Seeing a shadow waving outside the tent, Roshni finally steps out. Oh, there's no one here.
From inside, I kept seeing a shadow repeatedly. Could it have been Shaylee who came to call me and left when I didn't respond? Is she in some kind of trouble?
Thinking this, Roshni heads to Shaylee's tent, a short distance away. She walks toward it. Suddenly, she hears the sound of footsteps behind her. Roshni turns around startled, but there was no one behind her.
Beads of sweat started appearing on her forehead.
She quickly walks towards Shaylee's tent. Just then, she hears the sound of footsteps approaching quickly from behind. Roshni turns around once more and sees a shadow behind her. Due to the darkness, she can't quite make out who it is standing there.
Who are you? Want something? Why are you following me?
As soon as Roshni says this, the shadow rushes towards her at lightning speed. It comes close to her face and slowly removes its hood, revealing that it is a headless figure. There was a human, only a torso. Its head was missing and blood was continuously flowing from its neck. Seeing this, Roshni starts screaming with all her might. Then, he turned to his other side. You feel someone's breath hitting your face. Light. She turns around and looks the other way. A terrifying presence in the air. The head was swaying. Without, thump rose. What? The head floating in the air looked so terrifying. Why does Roshni feel that way when she sees it? The blood had frozen. Before Roshni could understand anything, finds the long one, the hand goes right through his chest. Roshni's blood-curdling scream, complete, echoes through the forest. He just stood there, lifeless. She falls. The next moment, the long tree, the tree's long branches entangle her feet. And then a tall tree. Roshni's scream was so terrifying that almost everyone came out of their places after hearing that scream. Whose scream was that? Something very dangerous just happened.
Everyone look around. Is everyone safe and sound? No one is missing, right?
Sir, Roshni is missing.
Alright. Everyone take a torch and go in groups in different directions. We'll find Roshni soon. We won't let anything happen to her.
Groups of 3 set out to find Roshni. Suddenly, something drips from a tree and falls on Vicky. Vicky looks up at the tree with his torch and screams. Roshni.
Tree.
She was hanging upside down from a branch, and blood was slowly dripping from her body, creating a chilling and eerie scene. The whole team was in deep shock from Roshni's death. Now no one was willing to go back to their tent. After somehow managing to spend the night around the fire, the next morning proved to be very painful for everyone involved.
We won't stay here, sir. If we lose our job, so be it. What's the use of such a job? The government hasn't made any arrangements for our security.
But this area has been marked safe by the forest team. There are no dangerous animals here, and none can kill and hang someone upside down like this. This is different.
Everyone was talking amongst themselves when, once again, they felt like someone was hiding nearby, eavesdropping on their conversations.
Who's there?
As soon as the boss says this, someone starts running away from there. Vicky and Avinash chase and catch him.
Who are you? What were you doing here? Did you kill Roshni? You look like a local. Tell me, what were you doing here?
This forest was our home, but we had to leave it. It's been 15 years, we don't live here anymore. But when I found out you guys were coming here to mine coal, I couldn't resist and came to see if you all were okay.
Why? What will happen to us? Speak clearly. Why Roshni?
Why would I kill her? But if the truth comes out, you all will be shocked. Coming here was a huge mistake. Now no one will survive. There's a headless creature in this jungle, very terrifying. It spares no one. Every night it bathes in blood. Our entire tribe has lived in fear of it for years. Do you see these marks on the trees? We perform these rituals to protect ourselves from it. Whatever measures our tribe's shaman suggested to avoid it, we diligently followed them all so that it couldn't come near us. But still, someone or the other would fall into its grasp. Its favorite prey is women with soft bodies. But don't think that men are safe. In our tribe, we worship the priestess who serves our forest goddess as if she were a goddess herself. One day she performed a ritual in the goddess's temple. She had the goddess's sword in her hand. Suddenly she heard a scream from one of the tribe's girls. Hearing the scream, she ran in that direction. Before the headless creature could attack the girl, they struck her body with a sword. Maybe it was the power of the goddess's sword that made the headless creature's body fall lifelessly to one side. They struck the headless creature several times with all their might and quickly took the frightened girl back to her worried parents. By then, the tribe had also gathered there.
It won't end this easily. It will rise again in a few days. We need to separate its head from its body so that it won't be able to reclaim its original form.
With the help of a tantric, the evil one's head was sealed in a coffin through a ritual and chained, then buried beneath the temple, while its body was buried in a different location. Both coffins were bound with the power of mantras, so it couldn't come out again. Even after all this, our tribe did not get rid of the curse of the headless creature.
The boss tries to use his phone outside, but his phone had no network. Everyone checks their phones, but none of them are working.
Forget the phones, everyone head towards the bus.
They all rush towards the bus, and the driver starts it. The bus is moving slowly when Vicky sees that same terrifying head floating eerily in the air just outside the window. Suddenly, out of nowhere, a long, ghastly hand reaches in, grabs Vicky, and pulls him out of the moving bus with a forceful yank, slamming him hard to the ground. Blood gushes profusely from Vicky's head, and he dies instantly from the severe injury.
Driver, please speed up the bus and do not stop for anyone along the way.
The driver tries really hard to start the bus, but despite his best efforts, it just won't move forward. Sir, I don't know what's happening. The bus just won't start.
We're all going to die. No one will survive. You all stay here and wait for your inevitable death, but I'm leaving now.
Ruby gets off the bus and starts running. Two people chase after her to stop her. Suddenly, they trip over a big rock and fall to the ground, while Ruby keeps running ahead without noticing.
Why are you following me? Go away! I'm not coming with you anymore! I'll go to some village and ask for help. I want to stay alive.
Saying this, Ruby turns around and screams. Right behind her stood a headless figure. Its long arm wraps around her neck like a rope, and Ruby tragically dies right there on the spot. Not far from Ruby's body, the bodies of the two who chased after her were hanging upside down from a tree. They had heard Ruby scream. The remaining people also start to panic. In an attempt to save their lives, they run here and there in the jungle, making futile efforts to save themselves. One by one, all fall prey to the headless one, and the entire jungle echoes with terrifying screams. On the other hand,
You will definitely have to pay for the destruction of our jungle. They went to destroy everything for coal. Now no one will even dare to set foot here. Don't you want to know the whole story? Years ago, after capturing the Headless One, everything had returned to normal. Suddenly one day, after drinking the water from the river flowing through our jungle, everyone started getting sick. The river's water turned to poison. It wasn't the Headless One's curse. Chemicals were deliberately mixed into it, so that by drinking it, we would die, and this forest would be empty. The curse that plagued the forest wasn't the Headless One. Rather, it was the people who were willing to do absolutely anything for money. Just as the tribe had the spell to capture the Headless One, we also possessed the spell to awaken it from its slumber. When the forest was in grave danger, in order to protect it, I took the Headless One's body out of the ancient coffin and awakened it with the powerful magic. The Headless One will now endlessly wander in this dark forest, patiently waiting for its next unsuspecting prey. Whoever dares to come and hunt in this forest will inevitably...
Are you ready? Most horror story. Watch with me. So please subscribe my channel and like for more videos.